up and step on stage. Please clap, 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 clap. Oh wow! And she's beautiful! Oh my goodness!
I need more love. I need more love.
Please be clapping until she sits down.
Hello. Okay, guys.
Hi.
Are you okay with this intro? Do you want to give us more?
More what?
Are we comfortable? I love comfortability. Are you okay?
I'm shaking.
If they told me, did you use juju for me? I don't speak in public. There was one topic I talked about, and a lot of people were like, it's not easy to come out from depression when you lose a loved one. So we're going to see how Ife has done it and done it so well that you're bagging our words. Girl. Okay. So first question I have here is, I've already asked this question. I said, have you lost anyone close to you? But I'm saying it, okay.
Well, I can still answer that. So I have lost quite a number of people close to me. Not one. I lost friends. I do remember that my first loss, I was 15. I lost a friend when I was 15, a very close friend. And honestly, I don't even know how I managed that. I've lost friends, I've lost a lot of family members, I've lost cousins. But obviously the most recent and the most painful for me was my dad. Because like I said, my dad was my best friend. Yeah.
The next question is, how did you manage to find yourself again after such great loss? And it's okay if you're still in the process, but please, can you teach us?
Managing to find yourself after loss of someone who's really close to you, I would say it's something that you never get there. You actually never get there. I've had conversations with people who, so after I lost my dad, that's when a lot of people started, talking to me and saying, look, I lost my father 20 years ago, I haven't gotten over it. And you do have the pressure of, you need to move on. You need to move on from people. But guess what?
They want you to do.
So, for me, that was one thing I held on to so much. I was like, what would Papa want? What would Papa say to me? And my dad, I'm sure if you've seen videos of my dad on my social media, he was the most jovial, the most playful person ever. He was always the life of the party, literally. And knowing him, I knew that, okay, you know what, even this period, even this funeral now that we're planning for him, I'm planning something that he would want. Something that he would like. Something that, if this man was in this party with us, he's going to dance and he's going to, you were at the funeral. I mean, and there's, like I said, there's lots of pressure from people. Oh, get over it. Are you the first person to lose your father? Are you the first person? You can't tell someone how to grieve. You can't tell someone how long to grieve. But one thing that I realized was I needed to do for myself and for him to make sure that he stayed proud of me. It's just to tell myself every day, you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going. He has lived his life.
How long?
My dad was 68 when he passed. He's pretty young. And he lived an amazing life. And at the point where we were putting together his biography, it was like, wow. Like, I was shocked. I was like, this man did quite a lot of things. And would he want me to be stuck right now in this space that I am? No, that's not what he would want. So I took that every day. My darling, I cried. I cried.
You went off social media.
I went off live. I zoned out. So what I did for myself was, so we rushed the funeral just because my mom, I think I would give a whole lot of accolades to my mom. She birthed really strong children. So I kind of had to stay strong for her because I saw her strength. And she believed that the quicker we bury him, the easier it would be and the quicker I would have to. And I feel like that was a good thing. So that 2 weeks in between us, I literally had 2 weeks to plan his funeral. that 2 weeks in between, I had to put my shit together. Sometimes I felt myself going, but I was like, okay, you know what? There's a task at hand. I have to do this. Let me do this. And after that, I think for 1 month, with my friends, I wasn't talking to anyone. I would, this is the first time I'm going to be, Jesus, let me not cry. I don't want to cry. Go to my bathroom floor, lock myself in my bathroom, make sure it's dark, and just cry.
They call it will.
I would wail. I would wail and wail and wail. And after that, I would tell myself, okay, what next? Are you going to keep doing this? And it's very okay. Like, if anyone, I don't know if there's anyone here who's ever gone through grief. Yeah? It's such a hard thing to do. And I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel that, like, there's no way you can go to online or anywhere to say, okay, how do I deal with grief? Everyone deals with grief differently. But one thing that I realized, and even after having a friend who lost her dad, that she was also close to, like a couple of months later, I noticed everyone was telling her, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. What? Cry! Cry! Like, your body needs to do that. Your body needs to express those emotions. Like, don't hold your emotions in. I feel like if you hold your emotions in, you're putting more stress and more pressure on yourself. You're bottling up. I don't believe in bottling up emotions. I believe in communication. So I feel like with grief as well, don't hold it in. If you need to cry, cry. It's a natural thing. You can't be, girl.
You know one thing?
Don't make me cry.
I'm trying to cry.
Don't make me cry.
You know, I'm still in denial. I have a younger brother, Uche. I still call Uche. If I want to call my siblings, I still call everyone. You know, my mom had like 6 kids, minus Uche, that's 5. So I still like, favor Uche, Samson, you know how you call, I still call Uche in prayer. Uche died 2016. I didn't go for the burial. Like I still believe Uche is alive. I don't know about anybody. I still put Uche in prayer whenever I mention my family. I was in deep denial. Now that you're saying it, and I'm like, it's like I didn't cry. That's why I'm still holding on to Uche. So I think it's okay to grieve properly. I know a couple of friends here that have lost one member of their family or the other, and I know they understand what you're saying. And don't mess my makeup up.
I shouldn't. You don't mess my face up. I purposely didn't wear makeup so that in case I cry, I won't have shocks.
Okay, let's move on to the next. What has helped you heal? Or should I say? I know you're still healing because it's still fresh, but in the healing process, can you give us like maybe 2 tips of how far you've gone?
Happy memories. Happy memories. I would say that if at any point in time I feel like I need to talk to this man, because we used to talk a lot.
Your dad, fine man. Oh, we see him.
Yes, we used to talk a lot. He was my gist partner. He would come anytime Mosi does anything. Hey, I want to see you in the house. Please come over. We sit down, we talk. He would rant to me, so I rant to him. Like, he was that person I would go to with anything I was going through. Really, it was so close. And at the point where I'm like, okay, like, who do I say these things to? There are certain things we talked about that I don't talk to anybody else about. Like, who do I want to say this to? And I feel like now I'm getting sad or I'm entering that dark place. And one thing I keep reminding myself is, it's okay to be in a dark place, but don't stay there.
Don't stay there.
Don't stay there. Don't stay there. Like, whoever you're grieving for would not want you in that space. That's one thing I keep telling myself. If he sees you in this dark space and you're staying there for too long, would he be happy? No. But I want to keep making my father happy. I want to keep making my father proud wherever he is.
I have this question. How do you feel whenever you hit my milestones without this particular person? I know you dedicated your award to your dad, but how does it really make you feel? You can cry. Give me tissue. Salve it.
Milestones are so hard. I think milestones are the hardest part. Even before, that's okay. Like I said, cry.
And move on.
Cry. It's okay. Move on as long as you don't stay there. Even before I won the award, on the day of the award itself. So I noticed that a few days leading to it, and I think this is one thing that a lot of people either you're grieving or you're going through grief. And the future, because one thing I always say is inevitable. Everybody in this room is going to go through grief. Everyone. You would notice that a few days before a milestone or something that you normally would share, you start getting very irritable. Everything around you starts pissing you off. You're cranky, or everything is just wrong. Nothing can go right. The tiniest thing, the tiniest thing that you probably overlook normally would trigger you. You'll just be angry because at the same time you're trying to push down those emotions. And before I even won that award, that day in the morning, I cried so much because I was like, this is what he always wanted from me. That was one thing we always talked about, like, all these movies are changing, you're saying, okay, now you're similar, now you're in this. These are words that people talk about. Like, he wanted that. That's why I dedicated it to him, because he would have given anything to be there. And and what messed me up even at the award gone before I even won. I don't know if anybody, I think a lot of people didn't notice. I actually got on that stage with tissue in my hand like this. Because they always do this 1 minute silence. Okay, well, it wasn't 1 minute silence, so they had the music. Let's believe I was on the 5th or 6th row, hyperventilating. I was wailing. Everybody around me, Bimbo Ademoye was right behind me. She kept telling me, she kept tapping me. She wasn't just tapping, she stood up and she helped me. And she was like, it's okay. And all of us on that row had lost someone. So we were all just crying. And I was the one that was hyperventilating. I don't even know why. I could hardly breathe because I also have asthma. So it was like, what the hell is going on? I was almost having a panic attack. And that was the toughest, I feel like that was the toughest milestone I've ever had to cry if you want to cry. I think that was the toughest milestone, but at the same time, like I said, I would always say cry, but feel those emotions that you know that you would have felt with that person. Feel it in that moment. Don't dwell on the why isn't he or she here? Why are you not here? Don't get angry.
Some people get angry with
God.
I was angry with God.
So I didn't even realize I was angry with God till someone said it to me, and it was just like, I feel this energy. So I believe in energies and the universe and things. I believe in God, definitely, but I also believe that there's energies around and all that. And this person said, I feel you're angry with God. Like, why? I was like, I don't understand, I'm not. Like, you are, like, dig deep into yourself. And I was like, well, yes. But it's okay to be angry with God for that moment. If you do have a relationship with God, you would know that it's okay. You can be upset. It's like having any other relationship. You can't be upset, but you communicate. You have to communicate. So that's one thing that I know got me out of that space was communication. And I, bro.
Excuse me, ma'am. In that moment, I don't want to pray. How did you communicate?
I'm not praying now. I'm talking to you like you're my guy. Like, what is this? Why did you do this? Like, bro, I'll be in my room shouting. That's how I talk to you. Like, I'm not necessarily that person that believes I have to go down on my knee and do the whole thing. I want to talk to you. I can talk to you right now. You're here with me. Yes. Let's have this conversation. Why? But I had to also give myself those responses that things have to happen. It's inevitable. Fine. Why so early? You don't know what else could have happened.
Sometimes people say it's so early, but some people were born without parents.
Thank you very much.
So there's something called appreciation.
There is something called that.
Okay, this is my final question. And then please, if you have questions, please signify. Where are the ushers? We have just 5 minutes. So if you have questions, if you want to write down or you want to talk, please. This last question from me is, what advice would you give us? What advice would you give us, to agree, because I know some people, see, it's not a swear. Nobody knows tomorrow. Anything can happen tomorrow. This word you heard here might save you for tomorrow. We'll just keep it in our hearts. What advice would you give us? From the smaller we don't see,
Just have in mind that life is a cycle. going. Some have to go for some to come.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
It's just
Some
it.
have to go.
Some have to go for some to come. That's basically it.
Now, the floor is open. All right, do we have any questions?
State your name, please.
Hello everyone. My name It's okay. My name is Jasmine Gaza and I can relate to everything you said. So before I ask my question, I just need to give a little bit of background. So I lost my dad at 12 and we were extremely close. I mean, I'm the last, and you could understand how close you can be to your daddy and all that. And then 4 years ago, I lost my grandpa, so I'm also very close to. 3 years, I lost my aunt, and that's my mom's only sister. And May, I lost my mom. So now my mom's own was the one that shocked me to my bone marrow. I'm a very social media person, but I left social media for like 1 year, even before that. And that process, and I feel like people do not understand when you say you are mourning. You know, when you hear someone die, oh yeah, you know, yes, you give your condolences and all. In my language, they say, when they carry another person's dead body to look like it's a wood, right? So during that process, most people felt like, you know, come back to social media. This is your business. This is where you earn. This is where you do whatever you do. My mom was going through dialysis and all that, but she was okay. You know, we didn't expect that there's something she died. 3 things, or rather 3 questions that will follow in. One is the spirituality aspect of it. Most people, I come from a very religious family, most people always come with this, don't question God. And at that point, I needed to question someone that had an answer. And how can I not question someone that over the years I've been told had the answers? And I cannot question him. And even the religious people, the people in the high places that ought to lead us to that point of questioning, told me not to question. So it made me deviate from my faith instead of approaching my faith. So I would want to know how you dealt with that. That's one. The second aspect of it would have to be with friends and family, right? Most people handled it different ways. My siblings, I felt like they continued with life when I needed them to process it longer than they were willing. It was later on that I got to understand that they had their own way of grieving, right? So it would be also good for people to understand and know how to be at the other end of it. You know, you have a friend that lost someone, how do you act? Because I feel like people do not know how to act. And I do not blame them because it's really not their fault. Maybe they've not really been in that shoe. So maybe if you can share how you would have loved your friends to be with you in that part of it, to help us understand. The last part of it is, sorry guys, but I'm sure she would handle it better to keep it under a minute. The last part of it is, how do you move on from it? Because it's a journey. You keep going into where the moment, like, I couldn't believe that I still cry at this point, but I did. But how do you move on to it where it's okay to cry, but it's also not okay to cry because you need to like man up and move on with your life?
So, I still cried yesterday because of my dad. I don't know why. It was randomly, and that's the most random thing about me. He does not care where you are. He will catch you anywhere, anytime, and you will cry. So I had to just put my head back, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's brace up. Take your moments away. I think that was the day before yesterday. Sorry, I was in a restaurant. I walked to the bathroom, got myself together. I didn't care that I was coming out with red eyes or whatever it is, because I don't care. It's me, and I don't need to pretend for anybody. I feel like, okay, I'm good. You're not going to force it out of my mouth. Do you get? So, like I said before, you don't completely move on. I don't believe that you completely move on because this is somebody that you've known all your life. Do you get? So it's very insensitive of anyone to think or say to you that you need to move on. You can't. But you just have to learn, and it's your own personal journey in life to learn how to manage that better. So for friends and family, I feel because I'm a very outspoken person from when I was younger. I know what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. And I tell you, I know how I want to be treated. So I tell you. And I think that's why, even with friends, it wasn't too hard, I believe, because we would sit down and they would be like, oh no, don't. And I'm like, no, don't tell me this is what I want. I don't feel like I need you guys all over me and dotting over me. No, right now I need to be strong. When I need to be strong, I tell them I need to be strong. I don't need the dotting. It's fine. It's communication. If any family member is coming to tell me this or that or blah blah blah, bro, they even know that if it's not the person to come and tell all those things because you know that I'm the expressive person. But people who tried it, I try my best to just, oh no, please, I don't, no, please don't do that. So basically, respect my boundaries. This is what I want. This is what I want. And I think that helped me as well because, like I said, my friend who lost her dad after I lost my dad, I still went over to her house yesterday, just laid in bed with her because I knew that she was going through something. She didn't want to talk about it. But I asked her the day before, do you want to talk about it? She said no. And what did I do the next day? I just went to her house and laid beside her in bed. She didn't go to work. And we were there and we watched a movie and she was okay. And then today I sent her a message, how far? You good? It's just questions. No, you don't need to preach and this and this and this and this. So I feel like questions should be asked. I feel like there should be more communication between people. You can't just assume that this is how this person wants to be treated. Do you understand? And the last one with God, being that person that you speak to. So me, I believe in my personal relationship with God. I believe in what I have built, right? I don't look onto, and this is what works for me, by the way. I don't look for answers from other individuals because I mean, you are still trying to figure out your own stuff out. You can give me advice, I can ask you questions, but I'll still go back and reflect, like, okay, what do I want? What works for me? Don't question God. Bro, I have my relationship. You can't tell me what to do with this guy that we've been in this relationship for over 30 years. You don't know the type of relationship I have with this guy. So that's how I look at my relationship with God. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me how to let me be in that. And that's what has worked for me.
Please a round of applause for this beautiful lady. Strong woman. Please clap, clap, clap. DJ, play something fantastic for her. She is beautiful. Please a round of applause until she gets to her seat. Wow. Chidetzi, you wanted to cry.
I cried.
Why would you cry?